And welcome back to Totally Random Thoughts. I am Brie.
I am Tag.
And together we are
Brie and Tag.
And welcome to the podcast full of totally random shit.
That's us. How are you, Brie? Oh, wait. Before we get to that, don't forget, every Tuesday, 10 a.m., we are on all of your favorite podcast sites. And Sundays, 7 p.m., we're on all your TVs through Plymouth Rock TV, which is our home station, and Amazon Fire and Apple TV and Distro TV and Local Now and a few other stations. Go to Plymouth Rock TV and you can find out exactly where we are. And that's 7 o'clock on Sundays. So, how are you this week?
Pretty good.
That was a good announcer voice. I dropped my voice a little bit.
You went straight into ESPN announcing mode.
Yes. Welcome.
Does Apple Podcast agree with our logo yet?
Nope. Still
Why?
fighting me. Still fighting me on the logo. It's accepted on every other podcast site, and it's running perfectly through Spotify.
I don't understand.
And Apple has just been a complete douche about it. Now, interesting, obviously we're on Apple TV. No, not a problem there. But the Apple podcast site still, no matter, I've changed it 3 different times, and it refuses to use our logo.
That is so strange.
So, there goes that for Apple. But we're on every other one, so just
we'll
get
make
Audible.
It work at some
just
point,
go to
guys.
Audible and look us up on Audible. You'll find it, no problem.
Yeah.
Or go to Spotify and boom, you're there.
Yeah. Or
Everything,
YouTube.
Yeah, or YouTube. Yeah, easy peasy. Yeah. And you look for our clips all week. There are clips hit social media all week on all of our different social media.
Yeah, follow us on social media, guys. It's at Totally Random Thoughts Podcast on all.
And each social media platform gets different clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen some podcasts where it's the same clip on every platform.
Mm-hmm.
I send different clips to each platform each week. So you'll have to bop from platform to platform to see all the different clips.
Yeah, you can get different sneak peeks of each upcoming
before
episode.
the show comes out. Usually the next week's show's clips will start on Thursday the week before. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then that show drops on Tuesday.
Yeah. That's
how we're doing it. So what's going on with you? Look, Penny Boo's back with us.
I know.
My girl.
That's her new spot. You guys are going to see her. Unless my husband is home, which he works a lot of overtime, so he's not usually. But if there's a night that we're doing this that he is home, she'll probably be up with him. But other than that, she's probably going to be our permanent guest.
Yeah. Unless we have a guest on the couch, you'll see Penny here.
We unfortunately have to kick her out, but...
Unless the guest wants Penny to sit on her lap.
She would.
His lap. Their laps.
Their lap. Yeah, she would. Obviously.
Yeah.
Look at her.
She's a terrifying dog. Just terrifying.
She is when she's just glaring at you through the window from the house. But
I'm not afraid of her at all. And there's still times she looks at me and I'm like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Well, she just looks menacing just because of her stature.
Yeah.
And her coloring and stuff. And she's really, really good at that, bitch face.
I remember when you got bit. Do you remember that? And you got in the middle of a fight stupidly.
That was my own fault.
Yeah, it was your own fault.
It was totally my own fault.
The 2 dogs were having a little tussle and you stuck your face in the middle of it.
Well, because I was sitting in between them on the couch and I was like, no. And I tried to stop it before it started and that was a dumb idea. And I instead of just standing up and walking away or backing up, I decided to go, no. And I stuck my head right in between their mouths.
And she done got bit in the face hole.
And one of their teeth, I don't know whose, one of their teeth.
I thought it was Penny's.
I'm guessing it's hers because it was more on the left side of my face and she was on my left side.
Okay.
But I don't know because he was also in front of me kind of.
Gotcha.
I guessed it was hers because it was more on the left side and she was on my left side. But they both were just kind of yelling at each other and they were at each other.
What was it like?
I'm not doing that again. And I was a dumbass and stuck my head right in between their freaking mouths and one of their teeth just ping.
Yeah, it healed super well though.
Yeah.
I will say you don't have an ugly scar.
And the 2 of them, I've never
could have ruined that perfect face.
I've never seen two dogs just completely forget their vengeance on each other and just freeze so fast.
Yeah.
Just frozen. Like,
Nice.
oh shit.
What did we
You
do?
know, the two
Apollo was like, Penny, what did you do? I didn't do it. Apollo, it was you.
yeah, the two of them, especially her because she's so protective of me. And so bonded to me.
Aw.
And
Aw.
she was literally like afraid to come near me for like 3 days. I had to like coax her like back over to me,
Yeah,
and
because it was
she
like
was
right there.
yeah, it was right above my lip. If it went
It was right next to the clef.
yeah, so it's not very noticeable because
No.
I have a pretty definitive cleft anyway, so it's a big indent right here anyway.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
you
not
did a good job on the scar and everything. It healed really
thanks.
well.
Yeah,
I said it didn't make you ugly.
I was very
If it had, I would have had to not work with you anymore.
well.
Right.
The doctor was that
Yeah.
stitched it. She was so good, and then it was only 6 stitches, and then it was like 4 here and then 2 right next to it, in the cleft, and then but if it had gone even like a millimeter or 2 lower, I would have been talking with a plastic surgeon because it would have gone into my lip.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
That is the second time in my life, like right here on my face, by a dog.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You should stop. You shouldn't do that anymore.
Listen, the first time was not my fault. The first time I distinctly remember I was 5 years old. We were down in Florida. My dad's cousin lived down there at the time. We visited her and her husband, and they had a yellow lab. It was a lab. This yellow lab was so mean and so reactive. And I don't know if they just like never socialized it and never trained it, or if it was just like kind of messed up in the head and there was no saving it. I don't know.
Nice.
But I had been giving the dog treats because I'm 5 and I wanted to give the dog treats. And I was sitting in a chair and the dog was sitting on the floor in front of me. And I don't know if the dog thought that I still had treats or was getting pissed off that I wasn't feeding it treats anymore or something. But
Okay.
out of nowhere, this dog,
No, that popped up.
and then out of nowhere, this dog was just kind of staring at me. I wasn't even really looking at the dog. And out of nowhere, this dog just launched itself at my face. And luckily, my dad was intuitive enough and was paying attention enough that he noticed something was off. And he didn't really trust the dog. And as soon as he saw that dog jump, he jumped and he grabbed the dog by its scruff from behind and like launched it away from me.
Oh my.
But the dog did make contact with my face. It had the chance to, and its tooth scraped like all the way down my nose and got my chin.
Nice.
So it was fully like this on my face, and if my dad hadn't caught the dog and removed it, it would have chomped and just like taken like my nose and chin and my
I wonder what you'd look like today.
not good probably.
It might be an improvement.
My dad multiple times in my life has either saved my life or saved me from a very unfortunate circumstance that would have left negative long lasting effects on me. So thanks, Dad, love you. Like literal definition of intuitive dad like reflexes with my dad in very serious situations. So yeah, I don't know how we got on this topic, but with if anyone has a scar that they're really trying to have it heal well or almost get rid of it and have it really not be noticeable, straight vitamin E oil, nothing else. Straight vitamin E oil like 2 or 3 times a day. Rub it in real good, and then also, this sounds weird, massage the area of the scar.
Oh yes.
Once it's healed, once your
Yes.
stitches are out or
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's fully healed.
I do that work on a lot of people actually.
Yeah, so like
I, in my business as a massage therapist, I do a lot of scar work. I'm one of the few in our area actually who do a lot of scar work, and it's super important. And you can actually dramatically decrease
yeah.
the visibility of scars. So I work on a lot of different kinds of scars, and
Because a lot
it
of
super
time the
helps.
scar is only so prominent because there's scar tissue attached to it or
Right.
underneath it that's
Underneath, usually.
causing it to protrude
Yep.
and whatever. So what I did once I took my own stitches out.
That's good.
They kind of told me to because it was literally in the height of COVID. It was like April of
Oh,
2020.
they reply like, just tweezer that right
She
out.
was like, she's like, you seem knowledgeable and competent enough. I don't want you to have to come back here to the hospital because COVID. She's like, so you or your best friend who's a nurse practitioner can just take them out. Because when we were chatting, she's like, you seem to know more than the average person. I'm like, yeah, my best friend's a nurse practitioner. My cousin's a nurse. And she's like, oh, yep, that makes sense. You're surrounded. So I was like, yeah. I'm like, I grew up with home health aides coming into my house and because my grandparents lived with me and whatever. So my sister held the flashlight and I was in the mirror with my little medical scissors and my tweezers, and they were clear stitches, so they were so hard to see. And I cut them all, and then I pulled them all out.
What was that?
I'm not doing that again.
I'll just, I'll just, I'll just edit that back in.
But and then what I did was once the stitches were out, and it was fully healed, and it was just the scar. In the shower, when my skin was nice and warm and it was more pliable, I could feel the scar tissue underneath and like kind of starting to build. I would literally like it's gonna look weird. I would literally just take my lip in between my thumb and my pointer
Just
finger
grind it away.
and I would just grind at
Yep.
it and massage it and
Yep.
whatever. I have zero scar tissue
Yeah.
there.
I,
None.
I tell clients about 6 weeks out, once your stitches are out, about 6 weeks out, we can start working on scars. And I've done, breast enhancement scars, breast reduction scars, cancer scars, C-section scars, tummy tuck scars. Usually about 6 weeks out is when it's healed enough to where I can be fairly aggressive with the tissue without reopening anything.
Right.
And then it's just a matter of not letting that scar tissue solidify underneath the scar line.
Yeah. And
You
you
can
don't
minimize some scars you can't get rid of, but
yeah.
you can definitely minimize
And
the look.
you don't have to continue working on it and massaging it for like the rest of your life.
No,
It's,
if you do it right, you don't.
yeah. I think I only would do that every night in the shower for the first like month after it healed.
Yeah.
And then I would hit the
Yeah.
point where I would notice like nothing was really building anymore.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay.
You just have to break it up so the body can reabsorb it, and then
Yeah.
as long as the body knows now that area is healed, I don't have to continually go in and repair it, which is how you get the scar tissue.
Yeah.
It'll stop making the scar tissue in that area. It's got other things to do at that point anyway.
Yeah. So I would do
The
that.
body's a right now thing. Whatever trauma happens right now, the body's going to deal with it. Something you damaged a month ago, the body doesn't care about anymore. It's got other things to do. So if you can keep breaking that scar tissue up through that period, the body's like, I got other things. You're on your own now. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's one. Those two things I think were the biggest components to like how well it healed. And the vitamin E oil is freaking magic. Magic, but it has to be literally just straight vitamin E oil, not vitamin E mixed with aloe, not vitamin E mixed with coconut oil. No, straight vitamin E. I don't care if you can't find the oil, you have to buy the capsules and you crack them open one by one and pour it
That's
out
messy.
like straight vitamin E oil.
Nice.
And it's
And doggy kisses.
phenomenal.
Doggy
Yeah.
kisses help.
Even sometimes to this day, she will kind of like come up to me and like sniff right here and like lick lick it and like give me kisses and like lick my face.
She knows. That's awesome.
I know. But I mean, I could not
I've
ask
been
for
accidentally
better
bit, but I've
dogs.
never been bit. I've been bit during playtime. Like that's my own fault. Like I'm playing with a toy
Yeah,
and my hand gets in
exactly.
the way and you get a chomp. It's part of life.
Yeah, exactly.
I got cat scratch scars as well from
I
playing
just
with my
happened
cats.
to be a moron and got in the way of
You don't put your face in the way. No, don't hit it.
Yeah. No, don't fight. Oh.
That almost sounded like Bella.
Don't, dude.
Can you? What if Bella got between the dogs? How would you react?
When she kind of did get between two werewolves.
Yeah, but pretend Bella got between Penny and.
Now I have to go off script and be her, not even from the movie.
Yes, in between Apollo and Penny.
can't believe I'm doing this right now. I'm humoring you. Hold on.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, if maybe you haven't seen earlier episodes, she does
He makes me imitate Bella from Twilight all the time.
Look, as soon as you start putting it up on your TikTok and your Instagram, it's fair game.
Those aren't there anymore.
You took them down?
I took them down from TikTok a long time ago.
Oh my god. The shiny
Well,
vampire monologues.
I privated them there.
The shiny vampire monologues. All right, so what would Bella do if she got between Penny and Apollo during a
I
fight?
don't even know.
No. Please.
Which version of Bella? Human Bella?
Yeah.
Awkward ass human Bella?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
I'm going to get my Star Wars cup for this.
I hate you.
Thank you.
I picture like when she was trying to stop the werewolves from fighting, or when in Eclipse after Jacob kissed her and she punched his face but broke her hand.
Oh, because he's a werewolf.
Ooh, and then she was trying to stop him and Edward from fighting.
Okay, do it.
Except
it's Penny and Apollo.
Yeah. It would probably just be a really awkward, like, stumbling, stuttering.
But then you also have to react to getting bit in the face. So go ahead.
Well, she gets hurt all the time because she's so clumsy. So she should be pretty nonchalant about that. Like, she whacked her head off a boulder and was bleeding from her skull. And she was just like, oh, I want to go again. I feel like she would literally just sit there and just be like, I can't do this. I can't.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Okay. No, stop. No, you can't fight. And she would just like shake her head and like blink a lot and just be like, no. I don't know. It's
and then she get bit,
right
and then how would she react to the bite? Oh.
I don't think it would be like that. She would probably just literally just stare there. She would very dramatically.
Yeah, I'm
She would
bleeding.
Her hand would tremble ever so slightly, and she would very dramatically
touch her lip.
She would very dramatically bring her finger, and then look away, and there'd be blood, and she'd go. And then
I've been damaged.
And then I'd be like, Carlisle, can you fix my face?
Penny.
Anyway.
Penny, thou hast bit me.
No. Thou hast bit me? What is this?
They're 400-year-old vampires. They talk weird.
She's not.
No, she's trying to fit in.
Okay, anyway. Speaking of awful movie scripts,
yes.
And in turn writing, one thing that we wanted to kind of dive into today was, we are both musicians. We are both artists and creators in our own rights, and that is actually how we met. Yeah, sure. And that's actually how we met, and how our friendship began was through music and through playing gigs together and working on that type of stuff together. And we are both songwriters.
Songwriters.
And something that always seems to kind of be the thing that people think is the coolest part of what we do. I don't know why. Like, for people who don't do this, they'll be like, oh my God, you write your own stuff. Oh my God, you write. Wait a minute, you have your own songs. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, for some reason, that's always been the most like cool and intriguing thing to people when it comes to this type of artistry. And one thing that I feel songwriters are constantly asked about is, how do you do it? What's your process? How do you even begin? How do you just sit down and just do that? How do you just make a song? And I figured we could talk about that a little bit and discuss how it can actually be different for each person, and maybe kind of give some pointers and explain some processes and give some tips. And for anyone who already writes and is just looking for a good discussion about it, or to even learn further, or people who want to get into trying to write. could probably learn a lot from
Yeah,
just a few simple tips.
absolutely.
So I guess we can start by kind of explaining each of our own personal styles, how each of us typically tends to go about writing a song in its entirety.
Ladies first, go for it.
Oh geez. Okay, how about this? We'll go through these standard questions that, like, I don't know, you've probably done countless interviews in your
Yes.
time, as have
Yes.
I. So and a lot of times when they're interviewing you and they're bringing up the concept of your songwriting, one of the first questions is always, are you a lyrics first or a melody first?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I don't have a formula. I have a what
Well, that's
happens.
the interesting thing is I feel like there's two different types of writers. There's the really,
Formulatic.
yeah,
In you and I both been in
need
Nashville. We've met
need
a
to
ton of
have
those.
need and that's okay if
Nothing wrong with
that's
it.
what works
No.
best for you.
Hell, a lot of those people have hits and I don't. So
Yeah, if that's what works best for you and you kind of need to have that structure and you have to, do everything ABC in that order every time you write,
yep. And
then
that was
that's what
always
works
so.
for
When I used
you.
to go to Nashville, that became the problem for me. Is the formulatic nature of it all was stifling because as a creative writer, if you're not following their formula, the writing session becomes awkward. I had somebody one time I was writing with, who was one of those stop every line writers. What I mean by that is, I'm a write the songwriter. I'm gonna write the song,
Mm.
then I'm gonna go back and look for edits. And this person wanted to stop after every line and find a new way to write that line.
No, oh
And
God.
to me, that killed the flow, that killed the
Yeah.
energy of the song, the creativity in the song. So I,
Well, it's like
I
writing an
said,
essay.
can't we just write the song first? And she says to me, we're in the writing session, and it was awkwardly funny moment for me. She goes, "You don't understand how it works in this town. You only have been coming here for a little while. I've been living here for years. I know what the publishers are looking for. And
And here's the
let me wait.
thing.
Let me finish because you're gonna laugh. And uh, you have to have everything perfect, or they're not even gonna look at you." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Oh, we should probably just cut this writing session short because I'm too frustrated to write now." I'm like, "Oh, all right. Well, I'll get going." She's like, "Where are you heading next?" I'm like, uh, "You're her," and this is actually what I did. I was like, uh, "I'm I'm heading over to Ash Street Music after this," and she's like, "Ash Street, yeah." Now, for those who don't know, Ash Street Music used to be a publisher on Music Row in Nashville. Um, they were right on 16th Street, right on Music Row. They had a huge rocking chair on the porch. They did a lot of film and TV. They had songs with every major artist at the time that they were out. They're no longer in Nashville. They're no
Mm-hmm.
longer there. But she says to me, "Oh, I know them. I've been trying to get them to sign me for a long, long time now. What are you going over there for?" I'm like, they're signing me to a film TV deal." And I literally shut my eyes when I said it. I was looking at her and I was like, "They're signing me to a film TV deal." And she was like, "Well, have fun." Not another word. We never wrote again. And
And
and and
you know
it's
what?
like,
There's a reason why she wasn't signed, and she kind of exposed it to you right
it
there.
was there. I get the formulatic thing. If you go back to Bro Country,
But there's
every
a
song was formulatic.
right.
It's just the way it
But
is.
there's a
But
difference
there's a way to be that
between
way without being stifling.
right. And there's a difference between having a loose formula where the point of it is okay, a lot of the songs that are popular right now all kind of have this type of structure or this type of vibe or this type of
Right.
style.
And there's the other thing. Are you going to write because of what you think is out now, or are you going to write because of what you want to write? I have always written
I feel
to
like
write. I never wrote because I should write a song like that.
but I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to write what is out now
Yeah, but here's the
in
secret
order
to
to
that.
break in
But
and then they can write what they want, but it's you're
Penny hair all over my nose. Like, what is
but
on me?
it's like a lot of these publishers that make these decisions, they want to know that you can do that when it's necessary, but they also want to know you might be able to bring something new to the table that could become the next great thing.
See, here's the thing about the thought process of that. You're going to write for what's out right now. You're done.
Yeah,
Because what's out right, you should be writing what you think is going to be out 6 months from now.
right.
Because if you wrote a song today, by the time you got it written, recorded, shopped, picked up,
It could now be
re-recorded
the
by an
it could
artist,
now be the
it's a
trend.
year later.
It could now be the trend of the past.
So
Yeah.
if you are writing a song based on what you think is out now, you've missed the boat. That's why I never did it. I simply always wrote what I wrote. I didn't say I want to sound like Bon Jovi today. I want to sound like this one today. I just wrote songs.
Right.
Okay, so my latest, right? I've got I don't know
Oh
about
my
100.
God, she's dreaming
She
so hard.
is.
She's
Oh,
kicking me.
she's barking.
Wait, is she really making noise? He does that sometimes. He'll literally be in his. He'll be
Oh,
like,
Junie will do it too.
he'll
Yeah.
be like, boof,
Yep.
boof, like
Yep.
in his sleep.
Junie, she'll be like in the middle. She'll be like under the covers in between my legs, barking up a storm. I'm like, dude, chill
Yeah.
out. So Monk and I just got together and wrote my latest song, "Oh There You Are," and "Oh There You Are," and this is the third song we've written together. Right? Here's how it goes. I walk into Monk's studio. He's sitting at his chair behind his console. He's got a keyboard in front of him. He hands me a guitar. We just start going, "What are we thinking about today?" And for this one, I went in and I'm like, "Oh, I got a title." He goes, "Oh, what's the title?" I said, "Oh, There You Are." He goes, "What's it about?" I told him what it's about. He goes, "Cool. Uh, what's the vibe?" And I said, "I
Yeah.
want to do something that sounds like these three bands."
As
And
if they all had a love child.
as if they all had a love child. Like, I don't want to sound like that band, but if these three bands got together and wrote a song together, I would want to sound like that song. And he was like, "Got it. Okay." So now we're 10 minutes into the session. And he's just like looking for sounds and loops. He found a loop of two violins playing. And I'm like, "There's our song. Start with that." And he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Just loop that out for like a minute. Let me listen to it." "Oh, there you are. I didn't know that." Boom. Words came. And an hour later, the song was finished.
So you're more intuitively led.
Jeff and I sat down to write Part Time Love, right? We didn't sit down to write Part Time Love. We sat down to write. I walked into Jeff's studio. He's sitting at the console. I sit down on a stool. He hands me a guitar. I go, "Cool. What do you want to do?" He goes, "Dude, I'm not a lyricist." I'm like, "Well, I'm your huckleberry with that because I'm a lyrics guy." I said, "What do you got?" And he's like, "I got all this music." And he cues up what turned into Part Time Love. And it was just a guitar thing. He drops it out. And within 15 seconds, I start dropping lyrics onto it. And he just looks at me. And I go, "Give me a pen and paper right now because we need to capture all of this." And we threw up a microphone and then grabbed a pen and paper. And in 20 minutes, we wrote the whole song.
Yeah, but see,
I have had other songs that are 15 years and not finished.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It's interesting because you can have just completely raw and intuitive moments like that where it just spills out of you and it seems so easy. And then I've had songs where I actually just I'm a lyrics person as well. I tend to think of of either like the title or the hook line or like the concept or a verse way before I think of the melody, the whatever.
Yeah. But I like to let things flow. Like back to that, right? The girl who wanted to edit, right? Monk's an eloquent writer. Monk speaks eloquently.
Oh, very.
I speak like a Neanderthal. I am a very basic grammar guy. I'm not eloquent big words.
Yeah.
I can tell a great story, but I'm going to say it in simple terms. That's where I love writing with Monk. We wrote the entire song of "Talk to Me" and talking to myself out loud, and now "Oh There You Are" in no time at all. And then I looked at him and I go, "How would you say that line differently?" And he will take my words and make them more eloquent.
Right.
And that's where the pairing works really well. He's a great lyricist. I'm the lyricist that I am. And he's more eloquent than me, so he could take my my really good basic thoughts and make them sound
See,
better than
I
I
like
would say.
fleshing things out like that as well.
But we wait till the song's done.
Yeah.
We don't sit there and pick the lines apart
But
as we're
see,
writing them.
oh, but that's right. That's the point of
So I
kind
let the
of
song flow, let it
that's the
speak,
point of going back
let the muse do its
and
thing.
editing or swapping out words that you found to be kind of repetitive
Yeah,
and
yeah,
embellishing and
yep.
things like that.
We take out all the ends and buts and
I
thes and we's.
I mean, again, whatever works for you, but I couldn't imagine going line by line because how can you know
What the
what a
next line's going to be.
well, how do you know what a good edit's going to be for that if you don't know what comes after it?
Exactly.
It's like you don't. It's that makes no sense.
Right.
But yeah, so I tend to. I'm much more of a lyric based person, and I will randomly think of a title or a phrase like a hook line. I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool thing,
When I
or
was
that'd be,
touring,
or I think of a concept that'd be a cool concept.
I kept a notebook of song titles.
So yeah,
I would
yep,
just keep a notebook of one lines of. I didn't even know if they were titles. They were just all one lines. And then
yeah.
sometimes that line and that line would be like, ooh, wait, those.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
there's the
had
beginning of a verse.
instances.
Oop.
I mean, I have people would probably think I'm crazy. I have like a whole notepad on my phone with just random phrases, verses, a stanza of
Yep.
like three different random lines that I thought of. And and like what's cool is I could sit there and so I had a writing session with two other women at my house in Nashville years ago when I had my house there. And I think like 2 nights in a row they came over and we just wrote and we ended up with 2 or 3 songs out of it. And one of the songs we had started and we thought of the chorus for it first. And it was interesting because usually there's that concept of the dreaded second verse or the second verse curse where you can think of a great first verse leading into the chorus. You love your chorus. You can kind of think of what you might want to do with the bridge. And then you're like, oh, shit. Like, what do we do for a second verse? Like, the second verse always kind of seems like one of the hardest parts of the song to write. Because you don't want it to be too repetitive of the first verse.
Right.
But it also needs to be like a transitional moment. And the second verse, there's a she's so cute. Sorry. There's a persona in the industry around like based around the second verse of when it comes to songwriting. And we had actually written the second verse
First.
already. We
Yeah.
were struggling with the first verse of this song.
Yeah.
How did we want to open this up? Which had never happened to me before. And just for oh,
All right. Well, we didn't know that happens.
nope.
So keep talking. I'll get that.
Okay. Sorry guys, we have a timer to make sure that we don't go over our time. Because we can only have so long of an episode for television and whatnot. And we've just had it running like all night. We forgot to reset it. And we didn't know that that's the first time we let it go that long, and we didn't know that it starts beeping once it hits 99 minutes.
Sorry, Penny.
So, I just, for the sake of it, just to kind of keep, get some kind of inspiration and just keep going, maybe spark my brain with something, I started to look over my those random things that I had written down at random points in time. And I had a verse written down, just a random verse that I had written maybe a year prior, 6 months to a year prior. And I read it and I was like, oh, that would fit. That actually makes perfect sense. And I wanted to use that verse so bad for the longest time, but I never knew what it would fit with.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
didn't know where to go with it after that verse if I tried to just keep writing. And so I just kind of shelved it. And then this moment came up and I came across it again in my notebook and I was like, wait a minute. And I read it to them and they're like, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking something that I started writing like a year before and it ended up fitting perfectly into a song that I was randomly currently writing in the moment during a session.
So talking to myself out loud, right? Um, I hadn't written a song in 4 years after my vocal damage because I had to find myself again, and I couldn't. I was struggling. One of the reasons I went to Monk was I said to him, I need to get out of my studio, away from my instruments, and out of my environment. Because there, in my studio, with my instruments and my environment, I'm saying the same things I've always said. And I'm expecting my voice to be able to do what it's always done, and it doesn't anymore.
Right.
So I had started writing, I was frustrated. I started writing 3 different songs, and none of them worked. And I was really frustrated. So I went to his house, and it's akin to that same story. Um, I said, "Here's what I got," and I played this like up mid tempo rocky song, and he looked at me and he's like, "No."
Just no.
He looked. He literally goes, "No." He goes, "Why is it that fast?" And I cocked my head. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "What are the chords?" And I told him the chords, and he went, "Shoop, hmm, 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 hmm," and I was like, "Huh?" And he goes, "What are the words you were thinking about?" And I started with the first line of what was the fast song in that. And then I was, you ever watch one of those movies where they're looking, like the guy's looking for clues, and like that word lights up and that word lights up and that word lights up, and it's like, oh, there's the clues. It literally was like that. Like this verse from this song that I couldn't do anything with popped up. The other song that was frustrating me, the pre-chorus popped out. The chorus from the third song popped out. And I was like, I wrote the whole song. I just wrote it in 3 different places.
Yeah.
And he looked at it, stepped back, and went, song. Like, and that's literally,
Yeah.
we sat back and went, everything was here. I just couldn't see it because of the frustration I was going through.
Right.
Like,
Well, and I think that's one of the biggest things too is, there is such
sometimes it
a
takes that outside eye to see
yeah,
things.
there is such a thing as kind of getting into the songwriter's rut.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I
and
did for 4 years once I lost my voice.
I feel like I'm in one now. I've been in one.
Well, you've been in one because you made yourself so busy, to be honest.
I
Life,
made
life,
myself so
life took over your creativity.
in a sense, but also I think I've a lot of songwriters, myself included, I think put such internal pressure on themselves where you just want you have the capability to write something so great, but you want everything you create to be that great.
Oh no, I've written
And it's
hundreds
like
of songs that
it's I
sucked.
know it's not realistic,
Yeah.
but I think you almost kind of freeze up and you don't even start because you're afraid it's just not going to translate the way you really want it to.
One of the things I
And
learned
you'd
early on
rather not
is
see it fail.
write bad songs.
Oh
One of
yeah,
the things I learned early on
100%.
is write bad songs because it's all a practice. The more you
Yeah.
write, the more you will learn how to write, the more you will write. And I have released, like I said, about 150 songs. I've written close to 1,000 that I threw in the garbage.
Yeah.
My first record, I wrote 150 songs for the 14 that made it on the record.
Yeah.
And
That's typical.
and but then I got to a point where I got really comfortable with my songwriting. Right through the mid 2000s, Brad Whitley was my co-writer and my guitar player at the time, and we would go, okay, let's go do an EP, and we would sit down and we would write a song, walk into my studio and record it. No pre-production, no thought process. We're going to organically see where this goes, and we did 5 EPs that way. Literally, like, we're gonna write today. Let's go, boom, and we'd write a song. And
Yeah, I think a lot
it
of
wasn't like I'm gonna sit and write and write and write and write.
I
and
think a
write.
lot of
We would write
creatives
6 songs for a 6-song EP.
No, I know. I think a lot of creatives, and I think I sometimes fall into that trap, and it can be hard to recognize it, and even if you do recognize it, to train your brain to get out of it.
Yeah,
Where I think we kind of
that's why I went to Monks. I
we
had to get out of
self
my place.
we self sabotage
Oh yeah,
a
absolutely,
100%.
absolutely. All of
We
us do.
100% self
Monk will
sabotage.
Monk will even tell you how he feels like imposter syndrome a lot.
Yeah,
Here's a guy with over 400 songs in TV and film, He's been in Billboard magazine, and he says he gets imposter syndrome. My career, I felt like was in imposter syndrome until 2008 when I sort of had that. We've talked about it before. I had a very come to Jesus talk with myself in a mirror
Yeah.
about stop trying to be what you think everybody wants you to be, and just be authentic. And that's when my career really took off. But I mean, and if you look at all my records prior to that, you could see that my songwriting maturity was low.
Yeah.
And then after that, when I got really honest, which I think a lot of songwriters, when you're formulatic, you okay?
I yawned.
Oh, is that what it is? I was gonna say, are you crying?
No, I
You
yawned.
good? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Really touching story.
It is. Um,
No, I
a lot of
yawned.
the
I'm sorry.
formulatic writers are, there's the songs feel generic because they are generic. There's no
Yeah.
authenticity to them. You just wrote the same. Which was it? The country. They took like 5 country songs from the same year
Oh my god, and
and
they
overlaid them, and it was the same song
they
with different lyrics.
oh, literally.
Yeah, like same
It was
keys, same
scary.
tempos, same
It was that
cadence, same everything.
it was that bro country era.
Oh yeah, and there is the public
There's a
who
fine
will
line.
who will take whatever you spoon feed them. They this is great.
Well, and
Every song, this is great. Every
there's
artist, this is great.
trends. There's trends and there's fads and
Yes.
there's just like with everything. But I think it's another big thing that sometimes artists do and that I know I've struggled with, and I think it's kind of what stopped me from creating my own stuff for so long. A lot of people in the industry will drill it into your head. I know something that I was told a lot as a younger artist was you have to find your sound. You have to find your style.
Yeah.
You have to, and that's true. But and then they'd also tell you though that you have to teeter that line of sounding different and unique, but only different and unique enough that it's not going to be too far off the path of what's popular and this and that. And
Yes. Excuse me.
again, that just felt like a lot of pressure. And it was like, well, then how can I, if I still have to figure out, okay, what's popular and I can't stray too far from that, but I also have to differentiate myself enough to be noticeable compared to everything else, but also be like them enough. And I always struggled with that. And in turn, I always struggled with who the hell am I as an artist?
Right.
What is my actual sound? And I think a lot of, especially people who are artists in the sense of, they have the duality of writing and then performing their own stuff. You can get caught in that trap as well with, okay, well, what's my sound?
Right.
And
Yep.
and I think I always I think I still to this day somewhat struggle with that, and that's what's kind of paralyzed me from really putting stuff out there, because it's like I don't want to put something out there unless I know that it's authentically me and it's what I really want it to sound like and want myself to sound like, but I don't know what my sound is.
See, I know who I am at this. Like, I learned.
But I think some of that
I don't know what's up in my throat today.
I think some of that was
Just give me Batman voice.
I think some of it was almost kind of things that were being hammered into my brain by other people in the industry.
You have to realize too that you're young. You're still young.
Not according to the industry, I'm not.
Yeah, but my first record came out when I was 34.
I feel like it's different for females in a certain way, though. Especially
Most big names didn't get their break till later.
Yeah, I feel like once you hit 30 as a female, though, they're like,
Or you're done. You're old.
exactly.
Yeah, but it depends if you're looking. See,
You can't be
That
that young
also
little
comes-
cutie sex symbol anymore.
that also comes down to what your goal is. Do you want to be a songwriter? That's ageless.
Oh, 100%.
Or do you want to be a performer? That's a different conversation.
Yes.
If we're strictly talking songwriting,
Well, see, I was
it's an
always
ageless. You could be 100 years old if you
I
write a
was
killer
always-
song.
I was always-
a banger's a banger.
I was always both, though.
Right.
And I think my brain kind of, for some reason, meshed one with the other. Like they had to come together. And once my brain started to believe that,
You could have been Taylor Swift before Taylor Swift.
She was older than me, so no.
She's older than you, is she?
Yep.
Hmm.
By like 3 or 4 years.
I guess not then.
So nope.
No, you missed that boat.
Yep.
See, you should have been born sooner.
Should have been born 1988.
You could have been the brunette Taylor Swift then.
Yeah, the more edgy
Yeah.
brunette Taylor
You
Swift.
could have been like as if
I definitely would have been more edgy than her.
if Taylor Swift and Haley from Paramore had a baby together, it'd be you. That's always been my thing. That was you are as if for me, if Martina McBride and Paramore had a baby, it would be you.
Which would kind of be Taylor Swift.
Well, no,
Well,
no, she's not Paramore edgy.
but it's interesting because the older I
She
get,
certainly cannot do Eminem like you do.
that's true. But it's like the older I get, the more I'm kind of like, I don't know how country I would be anymore. And I think that's been an identity crisis for me within itself. I don't know if I would record and release country music.
Well, the last song we started was a rock song for you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I would coin myself as a country artist
What
anymore.
if I have that available to even listen to?
I do.
I have it right here.
Oh no.
No, I don't know. No.
But I think if there's one thing that, we can say out of all this is songwriting is not linear. And play little games, like do word association games. Do oops, sorry, my husband's home. Do word association games. Do just do practice writes.
Oh, look at that. They didn't knock the light over. Look at those tails go.
Apollo, you gotta get off the bed so Daddy can. Can you come in the other door? Sorry.
And Penny's like,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
over it.
Okay, come back.
Penny's
up.
over it.
It's just Daddy. Okay. But the best way to get better and feel more confidence with your writing and with your songs
Ooh, the tail.
is to just keep doing it. Keep
Yes.
writing. Do like little writing games and writing projects. Just don't be afraid to experiment. Obviously, songs usually follow a certain type of format as far as verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus. Or maybe you don't have pre-choruses, but you've got... Hi.
Wait, let me hold on.
Oh,
What is
Jesus. This is like 2 years old at this point.
You were right in front of me, but here we are. Two almost lovers at the corner bar, and you're telling me how your dreams came true when you
Ooh,
found
that sounds very
someone
loud.
who popped the question. I know that things between us, yeah, they were bound to change, but in this moment I just don't know what to say. I could tell you that I'm happy and I wish you well, that somewhere inside of me this doesn't hurt like hell. And how your good looks got me smiling, but I'd be lying.
Dude, that's a solid song.
So here's like, do you know how hard it was for me recording that to not slip into like country girl voice?
Yeah, I know.
Because that's what I was so used to.
Yeah.
But
And then we got the covers we've been doing, too.
even then,
We still got to finish those.
myself now, I'd probably go for more of like a pop rock sound now. I don't think I could
Like Avril?
I don't think I could do like the Paramore style. For my, why does that keep popping
It keeps
up?
popping up. I don't know why.
I even now I feel like I don't think I'd be super grungy rock like Paramore or anything the entire time. Like, I don't think I'd be just that. I might throw a song in there like that once in a while, but I think I'd be more pop now.
Yeah, like who? Like
Just in general. And see, here's
Yeah.
the thing, you're already saying like who? Like me.
Ooh.
What would be my sound?
Well, exactly. What would be your sound? Like I always say, like for me, it's you still have to have the elevator pitch because people have to understand who you might sound like.
Right.
So for me, early in my career, my publicist was always like, you have to have your 10-second pitch. Who are you? And my thing was always, oh, if Edwin McCain and Bon Jovi had a baby, it'd be me. And people would be like,
That is very
oh,
accurate
I
for
get
you.
that. Yeah.
That's so accurate for you.
And that's not saying I sound like either one of them.
Okay, well then, if Taylor Swift and Paramore had a love child.
Which is what I said 5 minutes ago.
Well, you went Martina McBride.
Well, I did because you're powerful.
Yeah.
You're a better singer than Taylor Swift.
Thanks.
I'm not. You know, she's good at what she does. You're a better singer than her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even a question.
Well,
So,
thanks.
she's very good at what she does in the box. She knows to stay inside of. You can sing Martina McBride. She can't. There's no way
Well, yeah,
Taylor Swift is
no.
pulling off
Totally
a Martina
different.
McBride song. No offense to Taylor Swift. She's great at what she does, but she is not Martina McBride. In fact, nobody
No, but
is Martina
but
McBride.
like Martina McBride also probably couldn't pull off a Kelly Clarkson. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I saw her
I
sing.
think Carrie Underwood would be more apt to pull off a Kelly Clarkson because Carrie Underwood can do more of the rock stuff.
No.
Have you heard?
I have. I love Carrie Underwood, but Carrie Underwood does not have the breadth of a Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson
True.
can do everything. Carrie Underwood can do
Carrie
what
Underwood.
she does.
Yeah.
Everything she's ever put out, is a Carrie Underwood song.
Right.
Kelly Clarkson is a goddess. She's the only one, in my opinion, who can hang with a Martina McBride.
Yeah.
And one of the best shows I had ever seen, funny enough, was Martina McBride did it was like not a story, it was Crossroads, they called the
With
show.
Pat Benatar.
No.
I thought she did it with Pat Benatar.
Maybe she did it with Pat Benatar, but before that, she did it with Pat Monahan from Train. And it was Martina McBride and Pat Monahan from Train trading off. And it was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
It was truly mesmerizing.
I remember that show.
But, it's back to the songwriting. It's, your everybody's style is going to be different. And you've just got to learn how to find your style, which comes from writing a lot of bad songs,
Yeah.
to start to learn how to write the good ones, the ones that truly connect with yourself. I got criticized a lot because I wasn't Blink-182 in the aspect of
Where are you? And
My
I'm
head.
so sorry.
the voice in my head. Blink-182 is brilliant at writing 12 of the same song, which
Well,
all
but
go
again,
huge.
but
My
again,
songs
that
are
was everyone's
criticized.
style back then. They all sounded and sang like that with that. Where are you?
I
Like,
would have 12 songs that sounded like 12 different songs.
right.
And that got me criticism of, you're not cohesive enough. Well, I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
I was more a songwriter than anything else.
I think in today's climate, it's a little more acceptable.
Well, it's a singles world now. It doesn't matter about the album.
Right.
The albums are relevant.
But I'm saying it's more
There's a very small handful of
It's
artists
more-
still putting out albums.
it's more acceptable and almost expected now for artists to kind of reinvent themselves even song to song.
And you know who's amazing at that? All day long, every day, every single album, Butch Walker. And if you don't know who Butch Walker is, go quickly and look
Well,
up
I
Butch Walker,
mean-
and go look up The Marvelous Three, and then follow Butch's career since then. And he has produced so many people outside of himself. But go look up all of his stuff and realize what great songwriting really is. It's stunningly, it's everything is so different from each piece, but yet so good. But when you really look into it, you're like, oh, that's a Butch Walker song. Oh, that's a Butch Walker song. Oh, that. But they're nothing like
I
each
mean,
other.
listen, if Beyonce can make a country pop album, y'all can do whatever you want.
I'm sorry. I almost died there for a
I
second.
haven't even listened to it.
I don't even care to listen to it.
So,
Can we say pandering? Can we say my career was starting to flop, so I'm going to pick up the next coolest thing like Taylor Swift does? Not the Taylor. I'm going to try to do what Taylor's doing because she's the hottest thing. She's bigger than me.
but Taylor going from country to pop made sense.
Yes.
Taylor's had
Beyonce going to country
Taylor's
did not.
Taylor's had an evolution of
Yes.
growing as an artist
Yep.
and expanding
Yep.
as an artist. And
Yes.
it's logistically and just to the core made sense for her.
Yeah.
The directions that she's gone in. The complete 180 of like R&B pop to all of a sudden making like a new wave sound country album from Beyonce, who started off in Destiny's Child. That's a little left field. That's a
Yeah.
little weird to me. But you know what? Artists have the right to explore
And we have the right
whatever.
not to like it.
Exactly.
And you, but God bless her, she's Beyonce. She can do what she wants. You know, whatever.
Whatever. Any quick rapid fire like tips for people who are new to the songwriting world and want to or want to improve?
Don't
their
ever handcuff
songwriting?
yourself. Write whatever comes to your brain. Don't worry about if you think it sounds stupid. Write it anyway.
Yeah.
You can always edit it later, but some of the stupidest things that come out of your brain sometimes make the best lyrics in hindsight.
Yeah. Also don't be afraid or disappointed if you do go into a little bit of like a writer's block or a rut. It's
Always-
okay.
We've all been there throughout the years.
It is okay to walk away from a song
Yeah.
and then go back to it later. In fact, it usually works out for the better.
I wrote
Instead
my
of
first song in junior year of high
Instead of
school.
trying to force something that's not actually going to be your best work because you tried to force it, just don't.
I wrote my first
okay.
song 40 years ago. I was 16 years old. It was junior year of high school. I wrote my first song 40 years ago, and I have had periods all through there of I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like 40 songs come out.
Yeah.
So don't sweat the moments where nothing's coming. Try to write anyway, no matter how bad you think it is. Just keep going.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to, always a big one for me. Always put yourself in a room with people who are more experienced than you.
Oh yeah. In anything, and I've said it before, we talked about it on another episode. Be the worst one in the room. Be the less talented one. Be the worst of everything in the room, because then you're surrounded by better than you,
Yeah.
and then you have to step up every single time.
Well, and you'll just
that's the
learn. And
best
you'll
place to
learn.
be.
You'll learn. You'll constantly learn.
Yes.
And you're never done learning.
Nope.
Long story short, just write.
Yeah.
Just write.
And
Just
do
keep
stupid
doing
things. Some good exercises, right? They used to give us exercises, and write about your dog today. Just go write a ditty about your dog.
Yeah. Yep. Silly
the funny
little
one
things
was always
like
run
that.
about runny eggs.
And obviously, there's certain structures that are kind of always a given with songs. Like, you have the hook line, you have a verse and a chorus. Like, there's different. Look up the if you're that much of a beginner, look up the different structures of
Yep.
the songs, the different
You know,
pieces to
and
it.
oh, there you are. We threw a curveball because the title is the first line of the song,
Yeah.
and that's not
Yeah, you
the
can
normal.
you can do things like that.
Yeah.
But if you want just like the standard verse, pre-chorus,
Verse, pre-chorus, chorus,
verse,
pre-chorus,
chorus, bridge,
chorus,
chorus.
guitar solo maybe.
Yeah.
Although these days guitar solos are passé. Although I'm glad to see that there are a lot of rock bands who are bringing them back
Yeah.
because they're deserved.
Anyway, support all things creative. Don't be afraid to just go for it, and best of luck, and always feel free to contact us if you
Yeah, if you
have
have any
any questions.
sure.
But we are running into our time. So I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in this week and for continuing to hang out with us for an hour every week, and just listening in general. Let us know what you'd like to hear us chat about.
Hit us up on our socials.
Yep. Make sure to give us a star rating and leave a review. It helps us a ton. And tune in every Tuesday at 10 and every Sunday at 7.
Yep. Tuesday at 10, you're on all the podcast sites.
Yep.
Sunday at 7, we're on all the TVs. Plymouth Rock TV is our home station. And through them, we are also on Distro TV and Amazon Fire TV and Apple TV and Roku and Local Now and others. So Sundays at 7, we hit the TV. Tuesday at 10 a.m., we are on the podcast sites.
And follow us on all of our social media
Yes.
at Totally Random Thoughts Podcast. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you.
I'm doing
Bye.
the finger guns.
Bye.